Okay, good evening. It's 6 o'clock on the ninth day of January. Started this week in Charlotte, North Carolina. Uh, had it. All the jobs are looking good out there. Uh, Interesting thing though, we've been working on this leadership development, and leadership training for our superintendents out there in the field, and working with safety, make sure they have all their safety documents in hand, and they understand the processes of being safe out there, and have the appropriate paperwork done, such as the PTP, and covering with their guys, the weekly safety topics, weekly safety talks. Some of them do it daily, which is probably a good idea. Uh, Having the exposure control plan for silica, all these things are adding up. I was on a job Monday, and as I pulled up, superintendent for us was talking with another individual there on the job site, and as I pulled in, I parked next to a car, and it had safety on it, written safety on it for this GC that we're doing the work for. Well, when I got out of the truck, shook his hand, and introductions between the superintendent, myself, and himself. And the superintendent had some other things to do, so he broke out and went and performed his work. And we walked around and showed him the job site, and he asked me, several questions. Do y'all do your own internal training? Yes, we do. And then, we started talking about our orientation, because he said, what about asbestos? I said, oh, all our employees go through an orientation where the asbestos recognition is part of it. And he said, I imagine you deal a lot with lead. And I said, yeah, that's part of the orientation as well. They're not full blown having a understanding of how to abate it or to manage the remediation of those hazards. However, they do have the ability to recognize that there is potential for asbestos or lead. And as we progressed along, he expressed to me how good it was to see a company ahead of the curve in safety, and that this company builds high-rise buildings. They do small upfits, but they're all over the place. And he says he never, ever, but rarely sees a company that is as on safety as we are. And of course, I told him that it's our training, and that it's taking the time, and that our superintendents are buying into it, and that we're seeing some real progress in that area. And once again, he expressed to me how excited he was to see that company was ahead of the curve like that in safety, because when he pulled up, the superintendent was prepared for him. He pulled out the PTP and the ECP and the other documents, our EH&S handbook and SDS, and showed him all these documents that he had, and made sure that he was satisfied with our work was proceeding in a fashion that this GC thought was appropriate. So kudos to that superintendent. You know who you are. If all of our guys, and they're getting there, all of our guys took that same approach to their job, their work, it would be a real boon for us, because then the GC would be looking for us to do their work, and potentially pay even a premium to have us perform their work for them, because they know that we're on time, and we would be less of a headache than, say, another contractor on site. Anyway, kudos to all you guys out there. Appreciate all the good work. And if you have a question, or you have something you want to hear me talk about, an issue, you just shoot me an email, and I'll make sure that I post a video on it, so that all the guys out there can take a look at it, and we can all share our common concerns and our common triumphs in the world of safety. Thank you.